Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Danny Garcia says after the Shawn Porter fight, Errol Spence could get the smoke. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Fight Hype conducted an interview with Danny Swift Garcia, and he was in Philly. Devin Haney fought out there. They interviewed him and they asked him about Shawn Porter, and he says after the Shawn Porter fight, Errol Spence can get it. He could get the smoke. He's down to fight Errol Spence. He says the Keith Thurman fight, based on Keith's recent behavior, being injured, he says, I don't know when that fight would be. You know, the WBC said that Keith Thurman is eligible to fight for his WBC title when he's healthy, but no one's really heard from Keith. So I don't think people are really optimistic about him coming back or when he's coming back. So they're just projecting it to be a long return date. Like, he vacated his belt. I ain't really seen anything from him, maybe other than like a Happy Mother's Day post I think he posted. So Danny Garcia is not really worried about that. He's saying Keith Thurman fight could happen, but if not, he wants to fight Errol Spence because what else would be left at 147? And he says, and then up to 154. Now, I don't really know. I like Danny Garcia. I don't know how he'll fare at 154. I don't know based on the size of the Erislandy Lara, especially Jarrett Swift Hurd, the Jamel Charlos, this new Jaime Munguia guy who just got a title. He looked enormous next to Saddam Ali. So Kell Brooks pretty big, fought at 160 against Golovkin, did his thing for some spots. I don't know. I don't know how Danny Garcia would fare up there, but I've heard him several times talk about going up to 54. But he has skill, you know what I mean, and he has a good grasp of the fundamentals and basics, so maybe. But more importantly, something in the more near future would be Shawn Porter. Great fight. I'm looking forward to that. And if he gets past Shawn Porter, then, I mean, of course, I would want to see him try to unify with Errol Spence Jr. I don't think Danny Garcia has always showed this much interest in speaking Errol Spence's name, but that's really neither here nor there because I'm glad it's happening now. It's similar to Golovkin. There was a point in time it didn't look like a lot of people were uttering Golovkin's name, but things have changed. He's had recent performances that maybe gave people confidence. And now the fact of the matter is at middleweight, people are pursuing fights with Golovkin. Billy Joe Saunders says he wants it. Jamel Charlo's calling out Golovkin. Andrade and Derevyanchenko were willing to call out Golovkin on short notice and take the fight, right? Vanes was willing to step in, moving up in weight, coming off the couch for 2 years. So that's the reality of the situation. So I don't really care. Like, I'm not going to hold a grudge over some past. If Danny Garcia is now saying that he wants Errol Spence, fine. That's what I like to hear because that's a good fight. Obviously, Shawn Porter's no pushover. So we got to have that fight first announced officially, finalized, even though it looks like it's the next order of business. And we have to see how that looks. You know, because what if it's a close, controversial win for Danny Garcia? Then he may end up rematching Shawn Porter. So it's a little bit in the future, but I just like the talk. Get the talk, plant the seeds, and I like seeing this willingness from the other top welterweights that Errol Spence can get it. You know what I mean? That they're willing to fight him because, like I said, at a point in time, you didn't really hear it. Now Amir Khan has said he'll fight Errol Spence, and he's a southpaw killer. He does well with southpaw. Danny Garcia is saying it, so fine. Mikey Garcia is calling him out. Terrence Crawford said he'll fight him. So we just got to put the pen to paper, get these contract signs, go through these upcoming fights. Spence versus Ocampo, Garcia versus Porter, which hopefully goes smooth sailing in terms of being announced to the public. Keith Thurman got to come back, and then he's back in the mix. Stuff like that. Mikey Garcia, we got to see how he looks versus Robert Easter. Looks like that's going down at lightweight. Then see what he decides to do weight-wise. A lot of opportunities. There's a lot of different possibilities, and that's what excites me. Last thing is Danny Garcia. He almost sounded offended in the interview, at least to me. Link in the description, where they mentioned something like Errol Spence is the boogeyman, and he's like, kind of like shrugged it off, like, boogeyman? How is he the boogeyman? He's just on his like second title defense. He just got a title. So I mean, if Danny Garcia is talking like that, hopefully we get to see it after the Shawn Porter fight sometime thereafter. But I still think Errol Spence is the boogeyman. I talked to Errol Spence in Vegas maybe a month or two ago, and he thinks he's the boogeyman. He said he's the most avoided in boxing. And like I said, Highlander shit, there's only one way to settle this. There could be only one. These guys got to fight each other, and then we'll see who's the boogeyman. Danny Garcia did kind of compare it to Lucas Matisse, which you got to give him a lot of credit, because that was on a major card, Mayweather versus Canelo, the one card. And Danny Garcia, people say he was going to get his head knocked off. Lucas Matisse was running through guys, and he was avoided at 140. You know what I mean? He was having to fight mandatories, lose again to Jose and Humberto Soto, and then he knocked out Peterson. People at that time, you got to look at where it was at the time when they fought. Lucas Matisse was a very dangerous man. The only thing I would say to rebuttal what Danny Garcia said there is this was at another weight class. He was the boogeyman. You did face him. You did conquer him. Swell his eye up, knocked him down, made Lucas Matisse look more human. You know what I mean? Still a good fighter. He's now fighting Pacquiao. But that was at 140. So that's the only thing that I disagree with, is you did topple that boogeyman, but Errol Spence is his own entity, and he's in a new division. So we still got to see that fight. Let me know what your thoughts are. Danny Garcia versus Shawn Porter. Danny Garcia, Porter winner versus Errol Spence. I'm loving it. Like McDonald's. Smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.